Hello everyone and welcome to this Holy Grail Games video. My name is Georgina and today I'm here with Jamie.
Hey there guys.
We are going to be talking about Dominations Road to Civilization, more specifically the brand new expansion Rise and Fall, which is currently available on Kickstarter at the time this video is being filmed. If you have missed it, don't worry, there'll be a pledge manager.
And hello from the past.
And hello from the past. This is how time works. The idea of this video is we have got everything set up here to play a game of Dominations Road to Civilization with Rise and Fall. Exactly. More specifically, the two modules included in Rise and Fall, which is Glory and Decline and Corruption. So let's get started. Just as we begin explaining this, please bear in mind, everyone, the everything you see on the table here related to the expansion is a prototype. It is also in French. Do not worry, we'll be explaining everything as we go along. You don't need to speak French to play this expansion.
It's a helpful motivator if you want to learn French, but it's not forcibly required.
No. So, Jamie, tell me, Glory and Decline, what's it about?
How does it work? Well, very simply, Glory and Decline is represented by this stack of cards and this set of tokens.
Right.
What's going to happen is these cards all have abilities on them. You're going to be able to play them during your turns. To draw them, you're going to draw one card every time you construct a build action.
Okay.
Well, I say one card. You are going to draw cards every time you do a build action.
So, a city or a monument?
A city or a monument, and as many cards as the level of that city or monument.
Okay.
So if I build a new level 1 city, I draw one card. If I upgrade to a level 2 city, I draw 2 cards. If I build the 5th level of a big monument, I draw 5 cards.
Ooh, okay.
Now, it's not like some other games where you draw a certain number of cards and you keep one.
Yeah.
You actually keep all the cards you draw up to a maximum of 5 in hand.
Okay.
So by timing when you play the cards and when you build correctly, you can actually chain them very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, now, having more cards is better, obviously, because you have more choice. But also, and I'll show you an example with one of these cards. So, each card has 5 powers.
Okay.
Now, you don't get to choose during those powers. In fact, it's the number of cards you play, the number of identical cards you play.
Okay.
So, if I manage to draw all of the Glory and Beauty cards, which is the translation from the French version here, there are 5 of them in a deck. There's a level 5 ability. If I play all 5 of them at the same time, I get the biggest ability.
Right.
Now, rest assured, there are cards in the deck that allow you to duplicate the effects of other cards.
Yes.
So there's ways to get around the fact that you don't have to draw all of the deck in order to get the 5th card.
Sure.
Don't worry about that. Anyway, generally when you play one card, it's a small ability. Yeah. It can be very useful in a lot of situations, but generally towards the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And the more cards we get, the bigger the effects get, and the more impact they can have on the game.
Yeah.
However, each ability also comes with a decline cost.
Yeah.
And that is represented by these markers here next to the scoreboard. Now, decline is like, you could call it anti-influence.
Okay.
The more you use your powers, you use and abuse your stately powers, as it were, the more it will cost you in the long term.
Okay.
So, very simply, for example, if I was to use a level 2 ability here, which costs 2 decline, I would move my counter up 2.
Yeah.
Okay? At the end of each age, you take your influence level, and you gain those points, and you still get to assimilate an ability. That doesn't change. However, the points you gain is your influence minus your decline.
Right. Okay. So you can actually, if you play this, if you play a lot of decline and then don't get a lot of influence,
you can lose points at the end of the age. Okay. Now, hopefully for you, those points were worth it.
Yeah.
Okay? It really does depend on when you play it. Some cards you draw will not be super useful to you. As you're drawing more cards, you can discard others to your hand to make room for the ones that you want.
Yeah.
And there is something for everybody in this deck, for certain. It really just depends on your strategy, when you want to play the cards. Like, these level 5 abilities cost 8 decline.
Yeah.
So playing that turn 1 is going to be quite tricky, but if you do manage to get it off, it could cost you 24 points, 8 times 3, over the course of the game.
Right.
But say it's a big influence ability, it gives you a lot of influence points. Now, all the other players are really going to struggle to catch you up in influence. And that's a very simple example I'm using here.
Yeah.
So is it worth 24 points over the course of the game to just be, not bothered by anybody else's influence levels if you manage to do it? Once again, pulling an example out, quite rare there.
Yeah.
But it can be done. So it really is a tactical decision on what you want to do.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so I mean, this can get you a considerable boost during the game,
Oh, yes.
but for a cost,
Exactly.
which you have to decide. You're going to have to calculate if it's worth it for you. It's an intriguing module to play with, so we're going to give it a go and see how it turns out.
And because it's still just the deck of cards and the decline points, it can be very easily played with all the other expansions. Very easy to integrate in that respect.
Yeah, definitely. So, corruption.
Corruption.
Corruption is this board here on the table. So, corruption essentially replaces the domination cards that we use normally at the end of each age in a game of dominations.
Exactly.
So for anybody who's watching who's not familiar with this concept, the idea is at the end of each age, the player who has the most remaining resource points of each colour gets to claim a domination card, and that will give you special bonuses for the next age. We've completely gotten rid of this when you're playing with corruption, and now you're going to be playing with this instead. So with corruption, we have this board, we have each of the resource knowledge domains here on the board, and then we have these little tiles which are removable.
Dun, dun, dun.
So at the start of a game, when we're playing with corruption, what we're going to do is we're going to draw 6 of those tiles randomly.
Yep, from a pool of 20.
From a pool of 20 different tiles, and we're going to apply them to each of the domains. What's really interesting here is that each of the effects of the tiles is going to be applied to each domain and exclusively to that domain, but will affect all players for the coming age. So it's essentially changing conditions. They can be good. They can be bad. For example, so we have it in French here, but I'll do a quick translation for everyone. On government, we have camps earn you 3 resources instead of 1 when you place a land tile with a red camp on it. So this obviously effect only applies to the red domain. Religion, or purple, is turned into 1 for 1, which means if you have religion points, you can exchange them 1 for 1 for any other resource. So it's super useful if you happen to have a good religion machine going.
Exactly. Or if you don't, if you just pick up a few spare points.
Yes.
Very easy to convert over.
Yeah, absolutely. Art is not good news in this case. This means that it's going to cost +2 to develop or improve any mastery card in the art domain, which kind of sucks because my objective card is all about art, but hey-ho, here we go. Commerce. You can trade in 2 commerce at any time to take a new land tile. Handy.
Very useful.
Very handy if you happen to have not a great hand of tiles. Science or green, we're going to be getting 10 victory points if you happen to have the most of that resource remaining at the end of the age. So a little pullback to the domination cards, just for funsies. But
there
again,
are points in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for orange or craftsmanship, at the beginning of each age, all players will, at the beginning of each of their turns, each player will automatically generate 2 craftsmanship. Which, hey, if you're using craftsmanship like you are, is extremely useful. If you are me and it's not really what you're going for, sucks to be you. So what's interesting about this is over the course of the age, we are going to be playing with these rules, but at the end of the age, that's all going to change.
Indeed.
What happens is during the age now, each time I create a black nodus or a corruptio, so by that I mean the cards with a black nodus on them as shown on this prototype card here. Each time I create one of these black noduses, well, I'm going to get a corruption point.
Exactly.
And I'm going to be moving along the corruption track here. I can also get corruption points with cards that just give them to me. There are different ways to get them. We'll explain as we go along. But basically, each time you get a corruption, you are going to gain corruption points and move along the corruption track. The player who has the most corruption points at the end of the age is going to get the first pick when the tiles are redistributed, because that's exactly what happens. At the end of each age, we remove all of the tiles, and the players are going to be able to replace them in the order of their choice. If you have the most corruption, not only do you get to go first, but you get to place 2.
Yes.
So that can be a considerable bonus for you.
It can.
Or an incredibly fun way to really annoy the people you're playing with.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I were to see that Jamie was going for science, for example, which I'm guessing you're probably going to, then at the end of the age, if I happen to have the most corruption, I can just go, well, I'm going to make it so that it's much more expensive for you to develop mastery cards in that domain now. So it's pretty fun.
It's very interactive.
It's very interactive.
It's probably one of the most head-to-head modules that exists.
Yeah.
We actually said this in the introduction video for the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Where we get a question all the time, what's the best expansion for 2 players?
Yeah.
And honestly, this is the one we have the most player interaction.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Hegemon.
Yeah. There's a fair bit in provinces as well, depending on how you choose to play it, if you're deciding to be mean or not. But so
this one you don't really have a choice, you have to interact.
Absolutely. So just to recap, there is a small rule change in this. Normally, corruption or black nodes in your civilization tree are dead ends. You cannot actually connect to these black spots normally, but when you're playing with corruption, you can.
Exactly.
They become full notices in your civilization tree, and they gain you corruption points. There's also an entire new set of mastery cards included in this. I believe it's 18 because it's 3 per knowledge domain, 1, 3, 1, 6, 1, 9. All of which amplify the effects of corruption. Corruption is very interesting to play with. It will, however, get in the way of you fulfilling certain of your objectives. So if you want to go for it, you've got to go for it and try and get as much out of it as you possibly can. And that is what I'm going to do. So now that we've pretty much explained everything, let's get to it. I have completely forgotten how these were now distributed at the beginning.
It's fine, you've got it right so far.
Okay, that was there. This was here.
Not that it matters.
I remember.
Much.
Well, it does.
There we go.
Because it was quite advantageous for you. You should care more.
I suppose I should. Bearing in mind, we've already set up for this game, so we have our land tiles, we've got all of this sorted.
Yeah.
You see all these objectives when you're setting up the game and when you're choosing your objective cards and your tiles and everything else, so you can kind of plan around it or not. It's up to you, and including when you're setting up the monuments.
Yes, absolutely. So I did not mention this, but there is also a new monument included in the corruption expansion. It is the Court of Miracles.
Indeed. Which is much more nefarious than it sounds.
Yes. The Court of Miracles also works off of corruption. It has a specific build condition. You can only build it if you have a minimum of 4 corruption points. So if you're going for a monument objective, that can be pretty tricky. Pretty much means that as I'm playing the Greeks, I have to build 2 monuments for this objective. I'm probably going to have to try and go for it and get Greeks. Corruption as well. So let's play the corrupted Greeks. I think that's it. We've explained everything. Jay, you are the first player.
I am indeed. Okay.
Grab a turn and let's get started.
Right. Well, in that case, so what I'm going to do today is I do not have a perfect match, sadly, for my first turn. So what I'm going to do instead is just try and build on what I do have access to. So
you gain 2 craftsmanship immediately.
Exactly.
Because of the corruption
at the start, which is always good. I can always convert that over.
Handy.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put down, and I also have a lot of camp reds give me a lot of knowledge as well, which is always good for Romans. When it's government, sorry. So I'm going to place that one there. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 red.
Yep.
Excellent. 1 green, 1 yellow. 1 science, 1 trade. Then that is my deployment. So we move on to construction.
Okay.
I am going to build a green city. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 craftsmanship that I gained for free.
Okay.
Spend 2 to gain 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend 2 of this government to gain 1 as well.
Okay.
Which will give me my 3 for my city. Up, so I can build a city. Excellent.
Nice.
Up we go. Now this does leave me a little bit short for the next phase. However, I do get to draw a card.
You do, and that could
change everything.
Change everything.
And it will.
And it does.
So this is this is the more generic card in the game,
these are the easiest to understand.
Exactly, because there is 1 of these for every domain. And basically, at its first level, it will gain me 2 resources of its colour, which is perfect. So here, it will gain me 2 government.
Great.
Now, it will cost me 1 decline. So over the course of the game, this is going to cost me 3 points playing this card.
Right.
Technically. Now, you all know how many points you're going to end up with in Domination, so it's not a huge investment. And more importantly, by playing it, I get to keep my action, which is infinitely more valuable than 3 points.
Yeah.
To give you guys an idea, if I was to play 2 of these cards, I would have gotten 6 resources instead of 2. If I had 3, I would have gotten a full reserve limit of government, which is really good, especially mid-late game when you've got a level 2 or 3 city. If I played 4 cards, I gain 1 influence per government city in play, so there's a thing to do there. And then at 5 cards, I gain 5 victory points by knowledge card in my tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
Which is, once again, depending on when you play, depending on what you're trying to do, it can have a big impact on the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
so that's discarded.
That is discarded.
You've taken the resource.
I have taken my 2. So, funnily enough, I now have enough points up to develop a mastery card, which I will do. And we're going to keep it classy. We will go with military doctrine because we're playing Romans and, some things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that was really interesting because that actually allowed you to not have the underwhelming first turn that you were set up to have otherwise because of your tiles. So, on to me. I am going to... You did gain an influence, by the way, from,
I did, of course. Thank you very
building
much.
a city. You did, however, also gain a decline.
That's the one, yep.
So you're currently neck and neck on that. I do have a really good match. I'm going to take my 2 craftsmanship that I get from the corruption tile.
Great.
And now I'm going to place my land tile. So I have a lovely, lovely, delicious, yummy match here. This is going to get me 3 government. It's going to get me 3 art. And it's going to get me 1 religion. Which is great. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to... It's going to be a little bit tricky, admittedly, because I haven't really placed the correct tile with this, because I actually got my tile wrong.
Oh, there
Sorry.
we go.
Yeah,
that's a much better plan.
Yeah, I was like, what did I do there? That doesn't make sense.
I had a plan, why isn't it working?
There was a plan. So I take away that religion that I should have gotten. My apologies to everyone that was watching. And there we go. So I'm going to build a city as well. So here we go, blue. That's going to cost me 3.
That's right, so you get 1 up influence point.
Okay. So I get 1 influence as well, and well, I'm gonna go ahead and develop a red mastery card as well because, well, it's
tip for tat.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some pretty good stuff in here, obviously. I suppose we could also keep it classy, I guess.
I guess,
if we must.
Play by the rules.
Yeah, I'm not gonna though. So I'm gonna play strategy. So this card allows me to start each age. Sorry, treasure, which is essentially the same thing. I start each age with any 3 resources of my choice.
Yep.
I'm going to place it here so that I get a corruptio nodus, which allows me to go forward 1 on the corruption track. So I also built a city, so I do actually need to take a glory card.
Good point.
So what did I get? Ooh.
Secret. All right.
Okay.
Keep your secrets.
Okay, that's the end of my turn.
My turn then. I am going to get a red city down because obviously playing Romans, that can be, or trying to play Romans rather, can be rather important. So this is going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That caps me out. And I also get 1 science for my previous city.
And don't forget,
1.
You get another 2.
I've already taken them.
Oh, you've already taken them, sorry.
All good. Then we're going to do a build action, obviously. Unsurprisingly, that is going to be here.
Okay. So you take a glory card.
I take a glory card.
And you also gain
influence. Okay, yeah. Could be interesting. Could be not one to play right now, but one to keep an eye on. So that is my construction phase. You've given me my influence. Thank you very much. And then so we go on to development. I do need to do craftsmanship, and whilst we're here. Yeah, I'm going to develop a little. I'm going to do a.
When you place your land tile, did you remember that the red caps are worth plus?
Anyway.
Oh, you were capped.
So I was capped. It wasn't the best. At the same time, though, I needed a red tile. I could have played another one, maybe optimized it a bit more, but not too important at this point. I will take the craftsmanship mastery cards, please.
Ooh.
Thank you. And I will very simply. Let's see now. I am going to try and combo this along with my military doctrine. So I'll gain an extra craftsmanship at the start of each turn as well, along with the 2. That's a pretty good lot.
Lovely.
Off we
Okay.
go.
that's the end of your turn. I'm going to come in and place my tile right here. So this is going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4 art. Brings me up to 5. I'm going to get 3 government, and I'm going to get 1 religion for real this time.
And don't forget your 2 craftsmanship.
Plus my 2 craftsmanship. Okay. So here's what we need to do. I am going to... Now, building a city is going to be slightly trickier for me, admittedly, because I'm going to have to do some kind of a trade-off to get it to work. But we can get it to work. I'm going to make the slightly expensive trade of 2 art to get myself up to 2 religion. And I'm going to trade another 2 government to get me up to 3 religion so that I can build my city.
Got it.
So I'm going to build my religion city there. That is going to get me a glory card.
Gives you an influence point as well.
Oh, mean. Okay. And I'm going to develop a craftsmanship card. This is what makes this corruption module so interesting in part, is that normally I would never be interested in doing craftsmanship for me, but because it happens to be made available to me, I am going to take something pretty cool. I'm going to take craftsman. And craftsman not only gets me another corruption nodus, it also makes mastery cards less expensive for me to develop, which is handy. I feel like I could have done better there in terms of getting that optimized, but I actually can't. Yes, I can. There we go. That's better. That's what I wanted.
Sure.
Yay. So I move another point along the corruption track.
Should probably
and
keep
that's
an eye
the
on
end
that.
of my turn.
Okay. So if we're delving into craftsmanship, I forgot to put up my reserve limit last turn. If we are delving into craftsmanship, I should probably get a craftsmanship city down. So I'm going to get 3 craftsmanship, so 2 plus 1, as well as 1 government. Sorry.
Okay.
This is my 3rd turn. Okay. We can do a double there. Not double, but okay. That will probably be good. That will go 1, 2, 3. Now that would cap me out. That isn't actually that interesting, but don't really have a choice. I'm going to cap out anyway. Okay, so we're going to do it anyway. So we are going to go up. We're going to cap out on that.
Okay.
Going to gain 1 in science and 1 in government. Then we are going to unsurprisingly build a craftsmanship city here. Going all the way up to 10.
That gets you another.
Exactly, and another card. Ooh. And then we can go on to development. A little bit stretched for mastery at the moment. What I might do is I'm going to very simply just spend 1 to upgrade this.
Ooh. Okay, so now
having 2 per turn is
each
not
turn you get...
this early in the game represents a lot of points.
It does.
And that is the end of my turn.
Okay. On to me. I'm going to automatically take my 2 craftsmanship before I forget. And off we go. I need to place a tile. I'm going to put down... Ooh.
I'm an
Ooh. Yes. I forgot about that. That's very useful. I'm not getting the best matches, but yes, I am. Liar. Yeah. So for this, I get 3 religion. I was going to say which caps me out, but it doesn't because I forgot to move my limit up. 3 religion. I'm going to get 3 science, and I'm going to get 1 more religion for the camp. Lovely.
Perfect.
Perfect. What am I going to do with all of that? I'm going to use the very handy corruption power of changing out religion 1 for 1. So good. I'm going to spend 3 to take me down to 4 and get my that is a good point. I'm not actually sure if I could do that. because I would like to get my hands on this.
Yes, but you'll need.
But also, I need a locust to plus it. So I'm getting ahead of myself. That's okay. Change of plan. I'm not going to do that yet. Mm-hmm. But everybody saw how cool an idea that would have been. Everybody saw how cool that would have been if it had actually made any sense and worked. I'm going to build another religion city here, which gets me another influence point. Mm-hmm. It's going to get me another glory card. Woo! And now I need to do a thing. The thing that I'm going to do is, I should probably, I mean, it's fun and all, the endless amounts of corruption, but I should probably have some kind of an engine going at some point. Yes, I did take it. You did? Cool. I did. For once, I did not forget.
I was lost in thought,
Well, nah. I mean, I was gonna go legit, but I've decided not to.
All in.
So I'm gonna use the strategy card. The strategy card lets me gain 1 influence automatically at the end of each age. That costs me. That costs me more than I can afford. Because of this.
Oh snap! Well, you can convert some religion.
I can convert. It's gonna cost me though. Ooh, so annoying. Okay, never mind. 1, and then with the 1 that I...
so it only costs you 1 more.
Okay, we're fine. Let's do it. Yep. So I get that, and I get another corruption point.
Interesting.
So corrupt.
Okay, well, listen, if you're going to put that there, then I'm going to close this locus.
Ooh, so I get a religion.
You do get religion.
Fun.
I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in science, taking me all the way up to 7. I get 1, 2, 3... in government, plus a yellow.
Nice.
On trade, and I think that's it. Yep. Also, I get my 2 free government and my 3 free craftsmanship.
Yep.
And we're done. Okay. We are going to unsurprisingly build a city there. I'm sure you can all guess where this will be going. Up. So.
Really? I thought you'd have gone for the monument there.
Well, the thing is, I can go for the monument.
Yeah.
It has to be put on a nodus.
Yeah.
With a science city present.
Yeah.
That's the only nodus so far that could be closed within a turn, and the only 2 science cities. So I have the time to put this down.
It makes sense.
And then get extra points. So that will be coming next turn. Don't worry.
Sure. For sure.
Because this is turn 4, and next time will be turn 5. However, that is level 1 city, so I can draw another card. Okay. Interesting.
Going too quickly. I'm not having time for my evil plans to set into motion.
So, in terms of that, however, what I might do this turn is go for... That is always good with Romans. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sacrifice these 2 trade, which I don't really have much intention of going for just yet. Got up to 6 in craftsmanship, which I am then going to spend, and I'm going to take bridges.
Ooh.
Which allows me to...
what that does.
It allows me to upgrade my cities for 2 less.
Ooh, nice.
Which is great when you need to get 45 influence for a Roman objective.
For sure.
And also I might be able to get a rather nice match here. Yes, I can. Boom, look at that. Lovely.
Very nice.
Excellent. And that gains me 3 victory points. So we are officially off to the races. Okay.
Nice.
Put that back. And I think that is my turn. Off you go.
I'm trying to figure out a way to place a tile without automatically giving you points. So I take my 2 craftsmanship from the corruption tiles. Let's see. I'm going to come here.
Okay.
So I'm going to get 3 religion from that. Pops me up to 7. I'm going to get 4 government because of the +3 camp power from the corruption tile.
Sure.
And I'm going to get 1 art.
Sounds good.
So, what am I going to do with all that? Here you ask. I don't really know.
I haven't figured that out yet, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Right. Yes, I do. So, I'm going to probably build a city.
Okay.
Because I need to. Because I'm kind of capping out a lot on government, and that's kind of annoying. So I'm going to spend the 3. I'm going to come in here and do this.
Okay.
So I get one more influence. I'm hot on your tail, I am.
Tit for tat.
Yep, and a glory card. This could change everything. Okay. And then I'm going to do a thing. I forgot that it did that. I could go and get 6.
The joys of being surprised by your own game.
I've only actually played with corruption once, so I'm not super familiar with the mastery
not as much
cards.
As the authors.
No. Oh god, playing with Olivier. I'm going to go straight in for a 6.
Okay, nice.
Because I can.
Because you can.
So that's going to cost me 5 because I have the craftsman.
Very true.
That's going to get me another corruption and also 3 victory points.
Nice.
So lovely corruption, and I move up to 3. Could I have done that better? I could maybe have done that better. Hang on. No, the nodus configuration aren't what I want. No, that's no good at all. Complain to the authors. How dare they?
The game that almost always gives you the configurations you want.
Dare they? Frustrated. Okay, never mind.
Good stuff.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I took my glory card because he did the things. Okay, your turn.
So I'm going to start with my 3 and my 2. Thank you very much. Obviously, I've got a lot of government there, which I kind of want to do something with. Obviously, I know what my build action is going to be. Maybe this will give me a...
This is the final turn for the age,
This is the final turn for the age, yes. So what I might actually do... Oh, it's not too bad, actually. Okay. Could be a good go, because I have that. I don't have that prerequisite, but I do have that. Okay, let's do that then. This could be a good turn. So what we're going to do is, what I want here is basically just, I need science, because I know I'm going to be trying to go for that monument. So I just do want to maximize my science output. I could do that. Actually, I can come here and do that. Look at that. Ta-da.
Lovely.
So 1, 2, 3, go up to 7. And then 1, 2, 3, go up to 6.
Don't forget your extra 2 if you have.
I have already done it. So that's good. Construction, obviously, without much of a surprise, we're going to go and build the first level of the glorious library.
Of course you are.
Which is going to go onto this nodus here.
Okay.
So I'm going to get 5 points per science city on that nodus.
2.
I have 2, so that takes me up 10 points. And I get 6 victory points as well from playing the card, which is going to very nicely... Ooh. Let's slot you in here, shall we? And I can immediately assimilate a level 3 mastery card.
Ooh.
Which I am going to do, actually. Well, of course I was going to do it, but it actually works very much in my favour. Could you pass me?
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Oh,
That's
no.
A 6. However, craftsman, it could be really handy for you.
Craftsman is good for me. I will take craftsman. I will take a craftsman.
No, or, there's a 3.
No, I wanted the religion for a prerequisite on a level 9 government card, but sadly I misread that one. But hey, having -1 to develop mastery cards is good. And also, this will get me onto the corruption track.
Hooray.
Which I will need to keep an eye on. All the same, if I want to make the best of some of the tasty abilities that come along.
Yes.
And seeing as I have a load of government left, and one of the big changes with corruption is, seeing as there are no roll cards left, there is no need to keep specific knowledge unless it is specified. So if you want to try and keep some knowledge, you want to try and keep some science. Everything else, though, isn't that important. So if you don't use it, you've wasted it.
Sure.
So I'm going to spend 9.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to spend 8, thanks to my shiny new Artisan's card,
Yeah.
in order to take a level 9 government.
Oof. Straight off the bat.
Now, it's not going to be the most impactful, but it's a good thing to have. So I'm actually going to go for...
It's another really interesting thing about the corruption module is that I'm a big spender. I love spending all my resources and having to keep some back at the end of the age is often very frustrating
Yes.
to me. So the fact that I don't have to do that when playing with this module...
You can kind of go all out.
Go for it. Go all out. And,
So I will gain 5 victory points for that.
Yep.
So I'm up to 24.
Yep.
So I took Urbanism, which
Yep.
allows me to gain 1 victory point per city that I control at the end of each age.
Nice.
It will only represent 4 points
This
age. But that will build up over time, and it's, having a level 9 mastery card in the first age is never a bad thing.
No.
So that was a pretty good turn.
Lovely.
I'm definitely not going to complain. End of my turn. Oh, sorry, I won't forget. I do actually draw a card because I built a level 1 monument. And actually, before we go any further, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet. I'm going to play Urban Militia. 2 cards.
Oh.
So I get the level 2 ability, which is 4 influence. So basically, that will, however, also cost me 4 decadence.
Okay, so you're
going to go up to 8.
But you get 4 decline?
I'm going to get 4 decline.
Okay.
So I'm going to go, I was already on 1, so I go up to 5.
You go up to 5.
So, as I was kind of saying during the explanation, that is going to cost me a lot of points.
Yeah.
That will cost me 12 points over the course of the game.
Yeah.
But now I have a distinctive lead on you in terms of influence. So the ball is in your court in that respect.
I'm not a fan, personally, but... all right. Okay, it's like that, is it?
It's like that.
Okay. That has ruined my plans. A bit.
A bit.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. If I do that, I can get that. If I do...
I mean, you are now at 4 corruption. You can get the Court of Miracles.
Yes, I can. But that's not going to get me any influence, and I kind of want to avoid letting you steal another card from me. That said, there aren't really any cards in your civilization tree that hugely interest me. It
would more to stop me from...
It would be more
then
to
again,
annoy
I can only
you
assimilate a
than
level
anything
3.
else.
I've only taken 1 of them. At the very least, strategy won't get me anything this age. That will get me 3 resources, which I won't sniff at.
No.
But is it game breaking? It's a thing. But it's a card you don't have.
No.
So
Okay, fine. If that's the way it is.
That's the way it's going to be.
Let's do this. I'm going to come in here. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 religion. Art, sorry.
Art.
The other religion. 1 government and 1 actual religion for realsies this time. Obviously, I'm going to build the Court of Miracles. It's got to be done.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. So
and notices you're going to get a lot of corruption.
Because we haven't mentioned this prior, but so the build condition for the Court of Miracles is it has to be built next to a city owned by a player that has at least 4 corruption points. That is absolutely the case for me. I'm going to come and slot it in here, yoink. So I'm immediately going to get 15 points, which is pretty yummy. I'm okay with that.
Not bad. Plus the card.
Plus the card.
Which is 4.
Which is 4.
Comes to 22.
Nodus configuration is just not for me today.
Admittedly, that's a bit difficult. Oh, you can put it here.
I can put it there.
Or you can put it there. Yeah. You have options. You have options.
It's a thing. It's
fine. Not too bad.
I can't get the tasty 2. So, I am going to get the card, which gets me 4 points.
Yep.
4 additional points on top. You've already given
that's fine.
I get an extra corruption.
Indeed.
But I'm also going to get this stuff. So I'm going to get an extra corruption here.
That's only when you attach to it, though. When
land tiles
like with the other ones,
right. Yes.
when you place the monument down, it doesn't generate the points immediately. No. But when me or you comes and put land tiles down here next...
Yeah, extra corruption is going to be available at that point, which is going to be cool. So that was already a pretty satisfying move. And I'm on my way with the Court of Miracles, which is nice.
Exactly.
I need to take my glory card.
Exactly.
Which, again... Hang on.
So she had a sneaky look at the discard pile there while she was making those noises. There are 2 types of cards in the deck. One of them allows you to copy a card that you play. So you basically duplicate it so you can get those higher level abilities. I'll get there eventually. And the other one allows you to go and get cards from the discard pile in order to play them.
Yes, they do.
Exactly.
Okay. So I still have to do my mastery card, which I'm going to do, and I had it all planned out, and now I've forgotten.
Also, as a detail, you can play glory cards once during your turn at any point.
Yeah.
But only once.
So that's going to be a waste if I do that. But I can do this. I'm going to get Bards, which is a level 1 art card.
Okay.
I've still got this penalty to deal with. So it should cost me 2 more. Because I've got Artisans, it's only going to cost me 1 more. So it's going to cost me 4.
Okay.
Which sucks a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay, it's okay. So, Bards, what does it do? Bards...
Gains you influence.
Bards is going to gain me influence. Now, it's just 1 point, but that's okay, we'll take it. I also get a new corruption point from that. So 1 influence, I'm up for that. That's fine. And then I'm going to play...
Oh.
It's not enough. Dang it.
Isn't it?
It's not enough. It is enough. It is enough.
It is enough. Apparently it is, but it is.
I'm going to play these 2 glory cards.
Okay, right.
So one of them is Public Treasury, which is essentially the glory card that lets you copy any other.
Indeed, yep.
I only have 1 pacifism card, but thanks to Public Treasury, I can play it as if I had
Double
2.
it, okay, nice,
Which means you immediately lose 3 influence.
So I'm going to go down to 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And that is going to cost me 2 decline, which, you know what, that's a steal. I'll take that.
Not bad, not bad.
And that's it.
Now, however, it will cost you 1 decline, but playing the Public Treasury
plus
costs 3. So...
Okay, yeah, so that sucks a little bit more. But
so you do pay a certain price in order to have that flexibility.
Yeah.
But, once again, is it worth it, isn't it? I think in this situation it kind of is.
Kind of is.
I'll still assimilate a card, but we'll both be at 0 points.
Or will you?
Or will I, Jamie?
Okay,
will he?
end of age. So this is where it gets interesting.
Oh, you've got... Oh, strategy. Strategy. Nice.
Okay.
The strategy of using strategy.
The strategy of using strategy.
Strategyception.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, end of age. Let's do this.
So, the end of the age. We do our end of age cards.
Indeed.
I have the strategy art card.
Gain 1 influence. Nice. Well done. Nicely spotted. Nicely spotted. Okay. And I gain 1 per city I control, so I gain 4 victory points, however.
So, you are going to go up to 28.
Nice. Yep. And that is all I have for the end of age, however.
That is... no, I also have this. I'm going to gain 6 victory points if I have the most corruption, which I most definitely do.
That's true.
So I'm also going to come up to
Exeter.
28.
Okay.
Neck and neck.
Not bad, not bad.
Lovely. So when I took the Court of Miracles, I should have actually taken 4 resources per level of corruption that I had.
Yes,
I only had 4 at the time.
Well, it's not really worth it at this point.
Doing at this point.
You could have just put them into religion if you had to contest me for religion, but obviously you don't.
No.
So you.
However,
sorry, not religion, for science. For science.
So, however, there is this.
Yeah.
Which you forgot about a little bit, didn't you?
I kind of did and I kind of didn't. I could have traded those down to go up a few, but I just assumed you would dump religion into it and beat me. So.
Okay. So, corruption tile. This corruption tile awards immediately 10 victory points to the player that has the most remaining science. Unexpectedly, it's me. So I pop up here.
Okay.
The way you probably could have
other way around.
Other way around. The way that you could have probably got me is that I'm capped out at 5. So there was only so much I could have done to beat you.
Maybe. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Okay, so that's that. We immediately gain victory points equal to our influence.
Yep.
You gain none because you have 5 influence, but you also have 5 decline.
Yep, so I gain 0 points.
I'm going to gain the mighty score of 1 for my influence. And there we go. The player with the highest influence gets to assimilate a card from another player.
That is now you. Congratulations.
It's me. I feel so smart.
So you've got a little bit of choice there. What, are you taking military doctrine?
I'm going to take military doctrine because you have fishing, which gives me 1 craft, but I'm not interested in that. I'm military all the way. So let's go in. What could I get out of this? You have, of course, taken the one
that suited me the most.
Freaking card that I wanted. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go here because look, it fits. It's nice.
Ta-da. Okay.
And there we have it. That is the end of the turn. However, now we get to redistribute the corruption tiles.
Indeed.
So
That's
we
interesting
remove
part.
all the corruption tiles.
Exactly.
I have the most corruption, so I get to go first.
And place 2.
And place 2. So I think it would be fun. I'm going to put that 1-for-1 was super handy. The 1-for-1 was really useful. I'm probably gonna keep that 1-for-1. I'll pop that here.
Okay.
And then I am going to take the annoying, more expensive power, and I'm going to put it on science. So your science mastery cards are now going to cost you more.
Okay. I would have to dip into science eventually.
Yeah. So now it's your turn. You get to place 1, and then I will place 1. You place 1 until it's the end.
Okay, if that's how it is.
Oh yeah, that's how it is.
That's how it is. Well, I'm going to place this one on government, because that way I'm going to gain 4 at the start of my turn.
Ooh, nice.
Which works for me.
I mean, it works for me too, so I'm not mad.
No, it applies to everybody.
I'm not mad. Let's see. Let's do... Ooh.
Obviously, if you have more than 2 players, the player with the highest corruption places 2, then the person with the second highest corruption, the person with the third highest corruption, blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to put camps +3 on art, because obviously, because I've been so heavily concentrating on corruption, I have no engine.
Sure.
Which was a choice.
But, hey, using corruption and being able to put these tiles down gives you a pseudo engine with these tiles whilst they're in play.
Hey, so far it's working out.
Exactly.
Your turn.
I will put this onto craftsmanship, because I can always plan on having some left at the end of the age.
Well, that leaves me with that task there. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of the age. Honestly, we could play another age, but I think that was a pretty great example of what can be done with corruption and with the glory and decline cards. That was great.
That was a bit of a roller coaster. I didn't see the strategy coming. That's which is kind of the point of a strategy, I suppose.
That's exactly.
The other person doesn't see it coming.
And it's so nice to be not on the receiving end of that for a change, because it's so often me. Because Olivier is just diabolical he plays like the author.
Yeah.
So I played a game of this in French the other day when we filmed the French version of this. It did not go well. I was 30 points. I was 30 points behind him at the end of the first age. It was rough.
It can happen.
It was rough. But the glory cards worked really well for the both of us. I love playing with the corruption module. I love that.
I must admit, like, the whole it takes a little while to get going. Some of you might be saying, well, put all this effort into getting these extra points, and obviously you're sacrificing your objective card to do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's 6 notices you won't get back.
No.
However, the level 6, the level 9 cards that relate to corruption, they can easily make up for that. But once again, it's a choice.
Yeah.
It really is a choice. Do you go all in? I think the decision, because you need both monuments for the Greeks, right?
I'm not going to get it.
Which was going to be, now it's almost impossible at this point.
However, there is a level 9 science card that has been introduced with this new module to counter that, which essentially allows you to draw a new monument card, and it becomes yours. Only you can build it. You have to do it, but you get to draw a new monument, and then only you have access to its cards, which was exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, and that's
I would have had to.
It's a great little addition.
And again, you would never normally be able to even dream of achieving that if not for the corruption module here that lets you do 1-for-1, because I don't have any way of generating science. But I could have done it with religion, swapped it down, gotten the level 9, and then you're off to the races. So
and these tiles can vary massively. Like we said, these are 6 out of 20 different tiles with good, bad, lukewarm kind of abilities. Well, no, they're either good or they're bad, basically. But depending on what the kind of ratio is between positive and negative, it can really influence a game. It can slow it down. It can speed it up. Once again, when you are the most corrupt, when you have the most corruption, exerting those executive abilities to your advantage, as it were. That's when you can really control the flow of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is what makes it so interesting. Plus the corruption abilities being very strong, but you do have to sacrifice for them.
You have to sacrifice, and you know, I would have had I managed to get 4 out of 5 objectives at the end of the game, which already would have been.
Ooh, yeah, to control 2 monuments and be able to do your cities as well. That's a tough one. Plus,
really
it's great to be able to pull that monument, but it is a develop action, and then it's build actions.
Yeah.
Is it worth it in points? Only you can decide.
Yeah.
If you're building your strategy around it and you've gone for art and you've got those extra cards which really pump up your monument, it's fantastic.
Fantastic.
But have you got that in place? Do you have the tiles? Are the corruption tiles up to scratch?
Yeah.
Maybe you've drawn Glory and Decline cards if you're playing both of them together.
Yeah.
Or other expansions. Does
Yeah.
that allow you to do it? Like with everything in Domination, it's never as cut and dry as I can, so I will.
No, exactly. And to be honest, at the end of the Age, you kind of forced my hand with your
Sure,
because
yeah.
I didn't want you to be able to assimilate another card from me.
That is true.
Was it petty? Maybe a little bit.
Well, once again, it's a little bit of a sacrifice because you stopped me from getting another card on top of you, but you did sacrifice the ability to get maybe a level 9 or another level 6 card. So we've drawn even in assimilated cards, but I have a level 9 card.
Yeah.
So it's action reaction.
Yeah.
You're 11 points ahead of me though, which is not bad for a first stage.
No.
And once again, with Dominations, everything is still to play for. Both of us have fairly good motors in place.
Yeah.
You have the oncoming juggernaut that is corruption abilities.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to have to suffer you rearranging the tiles every turn now.
Probably,
and have to play around that. So at least with the negative abilities you can thrust on me, I'm going to have to pivot every age, like to stop you from blocking me. So if I want to do like government, I got to do it now whilst I have that ability, because the chances are she won't let me have it again.
Well, the cool thing though is that the abilities that we have pulled this time, because admittedly there are 20 different tiles and they all are very different. None of these are too much of a handicap.
No, the developing for 2 more
That's a pain.
is a bit tough, especially in like the first stage.
Yeah.
Second, third age, it's debatable, but the number of times where I've got a combo lined up and I'm 1 knowledge short, I mean, yeah. But once again, hey, it happened to me at the start of the game. I managed to play a card, get that extra action, which is invaluable.
Yeah, I mean, I found all of the powers on the tiles apart from the commerce, because neither of us did commerce.
No.
They all came into play. It was all to play for. I really enjoyed that. I think that the fun thing about this is if you have already played a lot of Dominations, as we certainly have, and are looking for something that changes the feel of it, but doesn't change the game at all.
Yeah, it's not as... Maybe together they have the same influence as a full-on expansion, like something... I mean, a big expansion, something like Provinces.
Yeah.
They kind of have that impact, but playing Glory and Decline on its own or playing Corruption on its own is not that all-enveloping.
No. I mean, Corruption in particular is a big change to the game, but that doesn't add any playtime. It's just, a thing that you need to not forget. But I mean, when it's an advantage for you, you're not going to forget it.
And I want to say that without doing it injustice, because even though, these are cards, you draw them, you play them. These are extra mastery cards and an extra track. This is slightly more hands-on, shall we say, slightly more meaty. But they, as you saw in this game, they both have a huge influence on how the game plays. And I think my previous comment saying that they're not as influential as a full-on expansion is slightly underselling them there.
Definitely.
As you guys have just seen.
Well, and even the glory cards, like that saved me at the end of that saved you as well at some and the very first turn. You would have had a bad first turn if not for the glory cards. So that's
I would have missed an action, which is never a good thing.
No.
It wouldn't have been the end of me.
No.
But missing an action in Dominations is always tricky. Having a good start in Dominations, having that double match right at the start is super useful. Everybody knows this. But you know, that's just one of the parts of the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you go first, you get to choose you get to choose the face of the tile. You can kind of line up that double match, but you don't get to react to people that play after you in the first stage, which is always useful for those monument cards.
Yeah.
But here, you know, you build, you get that glory card. It's the one if it's anything, you can generally do something with it.
Yeah, they're never not useful, even if it's just grabbing a quick influence point here and there. A couple of resources, like you said, it can make all the difference. I find that the glory cards make me think a lot of the Dynasties expansion, but it's much more of a double-edged sword kind of, because Dynasties is very kind of it's win-win, because it, you know, you play your Dynasty cards even if you don't have like the scoring collection at the end of the game, you sort of got a lot of benefit from them. It's cool. These are much more powerful, but you really have to think before you play them.
Like they especially like the higher up abilities, they are they're awesome. Like the level 4 influence card, that's 8 influence. Costs 6 decline, however. But 8 influence is a lot, especially for Romans who need 45 at the end of the game. That's massive. You know?
Because, just in case anybody watching is wondering, decline does not stop you from making your objective.
No,
if you have that 45, you still have to subtract your decline score from the points, the victory points that you score from your influence, but you still get your objective. So can totally be worth it depending on what you're going for.
Absolutely.
And you know, you'll be making sacrifices, but so will everybody else.
Yeah, because they have to catch up to you.
Yeah.
You know, I would have gained 4 points and assimilated a card.
Yeah.
By just playing 3 cards, and you could instead like get the science and do this and that and the else. It was a much better play.
Yeah.
As a reaction anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So there we have it. That is an Age 1. We're not going to play a full game because I'm sure you guys have other things to do than watch us play an entire game of Dominations. But this should have given you a really good idea of how you can integrate everything into your game. I kind of want to keep playing. This was
same.
This was fun. I felt like I was off to a good start.
It's a very interesting start. It's about as neck and neck as you can get for the first stage.
Definitely. So obviously I'm massively biased, but I think this is great expansion. I love this. There you have it. Rise and Fall. So the Glory and Decline and Corruption modules as part of the Rise and Fall expansion, which is currently available on our Dominations Deluxe Kickstarter, which runs until May 20th.
That's the one.
If you have already backed, thank you so much. We're really grateful. Around the time this video was filmed, we had passed 1,000 backers, and we added an extra module to the expansion as well, which is the Tablets of Law. Another really cool one. We'll be making another video soon explaining how that works. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Indeed.
And thank you. If you have backed the Kickstarter campaign, if you haven't done it yet, then maybe this will change your mind.
Maybe.
And we'll be back soon with more videos. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.